The glow of the laptop screen was the only light in Mason's cramped apartment in downtown Seattle. It was 2:37 a.m., and the hum of the city outside had faded to a dull murmur. Mason Carter, a 23-year-old comp sci dropout and self-proclaimed digital explorer, rubbed his bloodshot eyes. His fingers hovered over the keyboard, the Tor browser open to an Onion site he'd stumbled across on a sketchy X thread. The site was called Red Thread, its black and red interface stark and promising exclusive content for the curious. No paywall, no login, just a button labeled Enter. Mason wasn't a dark web newbie. He'd poked around marketplaces hawking fake IDs, lurked in hacker forums trading zero-day exploits, and even stumbled on grainy videos he regretted watching. But Red Thread felt off. The X thread, posted by a user named Nullbyte, called it a deep dive into the real shit, with warnings like, "Don't click unless you're ready to lose sleep." Mason, wired on Red Bull and chasing a thrill, clicked anyway. The site loaded sluggishly, the progress bar inching like it was pulling something heavy from the void. When it finally rendered, a chat window popped up. No username, no profile, just a blank text field and a message. Calm. Welcome, seeker. Thoughtful. Ask for what you desire. Mason snorts. Probably some edgelord running a roleplay scam. He typed, disinterested. Show me something real. The reply was instant. Challenging. You sure? A chill prickled Mason's neck. He glanced at his apartment door, confirming the deadbolt was locked. Muttering, "Screw it," he muttered, typing. Defiant. Yeah, hit me. A video feed flickered to life. Grainy, low res, like a knockoff security cam. It showed a concrete room. No windows, damp stains on the walls, a single metal chair bolted to the floor. In the chair sat a hooded figure, hands bound behind their back, chest heaving unevenly. Mason's stomach lurched. He'd seen fake snuff films before, dark web bait meant to spook amateurs. But this, the figure's shallow breaths, the faint drip of water in the audio, it felt too raw, too unpolished. A chat bubble appeared beside the video. Chilling. Name a price. Mason's pulse spiked. Was this live? Some twisted auction? His curiosity screamed to dig deeper, but his gut begged him to close the tab. He typed. Shocked. What is this? Cold. You wanted real. This is real. Threatening. Name a price, or they pay the price. The words hit like a gut punch. Mason's fingers shook as he typed. Desperate. I'm not playing. Scared. Who's that? No reply. The figure in the chair shifted, a muffled groan escaping the hood. Mason leaned closer, heart hammering. The video quality was shit, but something about the figure's posture, slumped yet tense, felt hauntingly familiar. Another message. Ominous. Look closer.
No way,
Mason whispered, shoving back from his desk. His chair squeaked against the hardwood. This was a prank. Had to be. Someone was screwing with him, maybe scraping his ex post for personal details. He typed, annoyed, nice try, I'm out. But before he could close the tab, a new message appeared. Urgent. Check your phone. Mason's iPhone buzzed on the desk. A text from an unknown number. A photo of his apartment building's entrance. Timestamp 2:38 a.m. Right now. His blood ran cold. He bolted to the window, peering through the blinds. The street below was empty, sodium lights casting long shadows. Another buzz. Another text. Ominous. Look behind you. He spun around, expecting to see nothing but his messy apartment. Empty pizza boxes, a flickering TV, his skateboard propped against the wall. But the air felt wrong, heavy. His laptop screen glitched, the video feed cutting to static, then back to the concrete room. The figure was gone. The chair was empty. Mason's phone buzzed again, a video this time. He opened it, hands trembling. It was him, filmed from behind, sitting at his desk, staring at his laptop. Right now. The angle was high, like from a ceiling corner. He whipped around, scanning the room. No cameras, no drones, nothing. His heart pounded so hard he thought he'd puke. The chat window pinged, menacing. You didn't name a price. Now you're the price. The video feed switched again, showing a live stream of his apartment door. The deadbolt clicked, slowly turning on its own. Mason grabbed his skateboard, backing toward the fire escape. His phone buzzed relentlessly. More texts, more photos. His hallway, his kitchen, his bedroom. The laptop screen flashed red, the words, threatening, running won't help, pulsing in sync with his heartbeat. He fumbled with the fire escape window, cursing as it stuck. A low creak came from the front door. He froze, clutching the skateboard like a weapon. The apartment was silent, except for the hum of his laptop. Then, a whisper, soft, distorted, like it came from the speakers. Distorted voice. Mason, you wanted real. The door swung open. Mason didn't wait to see what was on the other side. He yanked the fire escape window open, the rusty frame screeching, and scrambled onto the metal platform. The Seattle night was cold, the air biting his lungs as he clattered down the steps, skateboard tucked under his arm. His phone kept buzzing, each notification a jolt of panic. He didn't look at it. He couldn't. At the bottom, he hit the alley and sprinted toward the street, his sneakers slapping wet pavement. The city was asleep, the only sound the distant wail of a siren. Mason ducked behind a dumpster, catching his breath, and finally checked his phone. The texts were piling up, dozens, all from the same unknown number. Photos of him running down the fire escape, taken from above. A video of him crouching by the dumpster, time-stamped seconds ago. His stomach churned. How? There was no one around, no drones, no cameras. He muted the phone and opened Tor on his browser, hands shaking as he navigated back to Red Thread. The site was still up, but the chat window was gone. Instead, a new video feed loaded, a live stream of the alley, of him, huddled behind the dumpster, staring at his phone. Mason's breath hitched. He looked up, scanning the rooftops, the streetlights, the shadows. Nothing. A new message appeared. You can't hide from the thread. Below it, a countdown timer. 00:59:47 tab. The numbers ticked down relentlessly. Mason's mind raced, thoughtful. Was this a game? Short pause. A hack? Frustrated. Some psycho with too much tech and time. He thought about calling the cops, but dismissed it. What would he say? Sarcastic. I clicked a dark web link, and now I'm being stalked by a ghost website. They'd laugh him off. He needed answers. Keeping low, he darted across the street to a 24-hour diner, its neon sign buzzing like a dying insect. Inside, the place was nearly empty. A trucker nursing coffee, a waitress scrolling her phone. Mason slid into a booth, opened his laptop, and connected to the diner's Wi-Fi. He dug into X, searching for any mention of Red Thread. Most posts were vague, cryptic warnings from throwaway accounts. Urgent. Don't click it. Ominous. It knows you. One user, Deep Crawl, claimed they'd escaped by mysterious, cutting the thread, whatever that meant, before their account went dark. Mason's phone buzzed again. Another video. This time, it showed the diner's interior, the camera panning across the trucker, the waitress, then settling on him in the booth. His blood froze. He scanned the ceiling. No cameras. The waitress hadn't looked up. The trucker was half asleep. He typed into the Red Thread chat, desperation overriding fear. Desperate. What do you want? The reply was immediate. Ominous. You. Threatening. Keep watching, or they take your place. The video feed shifted to a new room, another concrete cell. There was no way. He called her. Straight to voicemail. Urgent, Claire. It's Mason. Cracked voice, call me back. Now. His voice cracked. The countdown timer was at 0:42:19. He typed, strained, let them go. I'll do whatever you want. No response. The video feed zoomed in on Claire's tattoo, the ink vivid under the harsh light. A new message. Name a price. Mason's mind spun. This wasn't about money. It was control, a sit game. He remembered Deep Crawl's post about cutting the thread. Maybe it meant disconnecting, going offline completely. He slammed his laptop shut, yanked the battery out of his phone, and stuffed both into his backpack. The diner's fluorescent lights flickered. The waitress glanced up, her eyes lingering on him a second too long. He bolted out, skateboard underfoot, weaving through Seattle's empty streets. The timer was burned into his brain, less than 40 minutes. He needed a plan, a library, a friend's place, somewhere to lay low and figure this out. His friend Tyler, a cybersecurity nerd, lived a few blocks away. Tyler would know how to trace this, maybe even shut it down. Mason reached Tyler's building, buzzing the intercom like a maniac. No answer. He checked the time, 3:15 a.m. Tyler was probably passed out. Mason banged on the door, glancing over his shoulder. The street was empty, but the hairs on his neck stood up. He felt watched. Finally, the intercom crackled. Groggily, "Mason, dude, it's 3 a.m. Tyler's voice was groggy, desperate. "Let me in, man. It's bad. I'll explain." The door buzzed, and Mason took the stairs 2 at a time. Tyler's apartment was a mess of monitors, cables, and empty monster cans. Tyler, bleary-eyed in a hoodie, frowned as Mason spilled the story. Red thread, the video, the texts, Claire. Disbelieving. "Dude, you clicked a dark web link from an X thread. Are you brain dead?" Tyler booted up his rig, a custom-built beast with 3 monitors. Thoughtful. Sounds like a targeted attack. Maybe a rat, remote access Trojan. They could have hijacked your webcam, scraped your data. Shrilly, "Then how do you explain the alley, the diner?" Mason's voice was shrill. He plugged his phone back in, showing Tyler the videos. Tyler's face paled as he watched the live feed of Mason in the diner, time-stamped minutes ago. Muttering, "This is next level," Tyler muttered, pulling up a terminal. Determined, "Let me scan your devices." He ran a diagnostic, his fingers flying over the keyboard. Analytical, "Your laptop's clean, but your phone's pinging a weird server. Looks like it's routing through a VPN, maybe Tor. I can't pin it down." The countdown timer reappeared in Mason's mind. The chat window popped up. "Welcome back, Mason." Tyler froze. "I didn't type your name." The video feed switched to Tyler's apartment, live, showing both of them hunched over the monitors. Mason's skateboard slipped from his hands, clattering to the floor. The door to Tyler's apartment creaked open. Mason's heart slammed against his ribs as the door to Tyler's apartment creaked open, a slow, deliberate groan that echoed in the cluttered room. The glow of Tyler's monitors cast jagged shadows on the walls, and the red thread video feed still showed their apartment, live, unblinking, with Mason and Tyler frozen in frame. The countdown timer in Mason's mind ticked relentlessly. 0:29:12. "Who's there?" Tyler shouted, grabbing a heavy flashlight from his desk. Mason clutched his skateboard, its grip tape rough under his fingers, ready to swing. No answer came, just the faint scuff of footsteps in the hallway. Tyler's apartment was on the 5th floor. No fire escape, no back exit. They were trapped. The red thread chat pinged. "You can't run from the thread. Name a price." Mason's eyes darted to the screen. The video feed shifted, showing the concrete room again. Claire was still there, bound to the chair, her UW hoodie stained with sweat. The second figure was gone. The empty chair tipped over. A new message appeared. "One paid, one left. Your move, Mason." "Paid?" Mason's voice cracked. "What does that mean?" Tyler was already typing, his fingers a blur as he tried to trace the site's server. "It's bouncing through too many nodes," he muttered. "This isn't just some script kiddie. It's military-grade encryption." The footsteps stopped. A shadow loomed in the doorway, humanoid but wrong, too tall, too still. Mason's breath caught as the figure stepped into the light. It wasn't a person. It was a silhouette, like a glitch in reality, its edges flickering like bad CGI. Its face was a blank void, but Mason swore it was looking at him. "Tyler, get back!" Mason shouted, raising the skateboard. The figure didn't move, but the monitors flickered, the red thread feed cutting to static. A distorted voice crackled from the speakers. "Name, A, price." Tyler yanked the power cord from his rig, plunging the room into darkness except for Mason's phone, still buzzing with notifications. He glanced at it. A new text. A photo of Claire, her hood removed, eyes wide with terror. Below it, a single word. Hurry. We need to cut the thread, Mason said, voice shaking. That X post, Deep Crawl said you have to cut it. What does that mean? Tyler, pale and sweating, fumbled with the flashlight. Maybe it's literal. Cut the connection. Go offline. Destroy your devices. He grabbed a hammer from a toolbox under his desk. Smash your phone. Now. Mason hesitated. His phone was his lifeline. Photos, contacts, everything. But Claire's face on that video, the ticking timer, the thing in the doorway, it was too much. He dropped the phone and stomped it, the screen cracking under his sneaker. Tyler swung the hammer at his monitors, glass shattering in a spray of sparks. The figure in the doorway flickered, like a video feed losing signal, but it didn't vanish. It stepped closer, its void face tilting. The air grew heavy, like a storm was about to break. Mason's ears rang with a low hum, the same sound from the red thread video. It's not working, he yelled, backing toward the window. The figure raised a hand, not flesh, but a shifting mass of pixels, like a corrupted file come to life. Tyler grabbed Mason's arm. The site's not just on our devices, it's in the network. We need to overload it, crash the server. He scrambled to a backup laptop, booting it up. I can DDoS the Onion address, flood it with junk data, buy us time. Do it, Mason said, eyes locked on the figure. It was inches away now, its presence suffocating. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in. Mason swung his skateboard, but it passed through the figure like smoke, the board clattering uselessly to the floor. Tyler's fingers flew across the keyboard, launching a script to bombard the red thread server. The figure froze, its form glitching harder, chunks of its body dissolving into static. The laptop screen showed the red thread site stuttering, the video feed of Claire lagging. Mason's heart leapt. Maybe this was working. Then his phone, shattered on the floor, buzzed. Impossible. He knelt, hands trembling, and saw the screen flicker back to life, displaying a new message. You can't cut the thread. You are the thread. The timer hit 5-0. The figure lunged, its pixelated hand clamping around Mason's throat. It wasn't solid, but it burned, like electricity coursing through his skin. He screamed, thrashing, as Tyler shouted, "It's crashing! Hold on!" The laptop sparked, smoke curling from its vents. The figure's grip loosened, its form disintegrating into a swarm of black and red pixels that swarmed the room like insects. Mason fell to his knees, gasping. The laptop exploded in a burst of light, and the figure vanished. Silence. The air was normal again, the hum gone. Tyler, panting, checked his backup phone. The site's down. 404 error. It's gone. Mason didn't trust it. He called Claire again. Voicemail. "We need to find her," he said, grabbing his skateboard. They raced out, ignoring the shattered tech and the lingering smell of burnt circuits. Claire's apartment was a 15-minute sprint across town. The whole way, Mason's mind replayed the video, the figure, the words. You are the thread.
Yo, what's good, fam? Strap in, because I'm about to take you on a wild, heart-pounding ride deep into the shadows of the dark web. A crime story so intense it'll have you gripping your seat like you're on a roller coaster with no brakes. One chilly October night, Ethan's hunched over his rig, the glow of his monitors casting shadows on empty pizza boxes and half-drunk monster cans. He's cruising a dark web forum called The Abyss, a shady corner of the internet where hackers trade tips, flex their skills, and sometimes dangle bait too juicy to ignore. That's when he spots a post from a user called Ghost Key. No profile, no post history, just a ghost in the machine dropping a bombshell. 50K in BTC to whoever cracks the vault. 48 hours, no questions. Attached is a file, a gnarly chunk of encrypted code that looks like it was forged in the depths of hell by someone with a grudge and a genius-level IQ. Ethan's no rookie. He's cracked military-grade encryption for fun, just to see if he could. But this thing, it's next level. A puzzle wrapped in a riddle, dripping with menace. His gut screams walk away, but curiosity and a touch of greed whisper louder. 50 grand in Bitcoin? That's life-changing money, enough to pay off his student loans and maybe get a place that doesn't smell like his neighbor's burnt curry. So he takes the bait, downloads the file, and that's when his world flips upside down. The second the file hits his system, his rig goes haywire. Malware alerts scream, ports start opening like trapdoors, and his VPN chain collapses like it's scared of what's coming. Ethan's cursing, fingers flying to yank the power cord, but it's too late. His screens go black, and a single line of red text pulses like a heartbeat. You're in, no turning back. His phone buzzes on the desk, and his stomach drops as he reads a text from an unknown number. Nice try, Ethan. Meet me at Navy Pier, 2 a.m., or your life's on the blockchain. Yo, what the actual hell? How do they know his name? His real name, not his handle, not his IP. Ethan Caldwell, the nobody from Chicago. His mind's racing, heart pounding like a bass line at a rave. He checks his setup, but it's clean. No trace of the file, no logs, nothing. It's like the code ghosted him. He's got no choice. He grabs his jacket, a burner phone, and heads to Navy Pier, the Chicago skyline glittering like a trap under the moonlight. At 2 a.m., Navy Pier's deserted, the Ferris wheel looming like a silent giant. Ethan's pacing near the entrance, his breath fogging in the cold, when she steps out of the shadows. A woman, mid-30s, calling herself Raven. She's got sharp eyes, a leather jacket, and a vibe that screams, I could end you without blinking. She's no cop, no fed, but something way scarier. A dark web fixer, the kind of person you hire when your illegal empire's got a leak.
Serious, Raven lays it out. That vault Ethan tried to crack, it's no game. Ominous. It's a key to a black market crypto wallet holding $500 million in stolen Bitcoin, tied to a syndicate called the Coil. Gravely, these aren't script kiddies messing around in their mom's basement. The Coil is a global network of criminals dealing in ransomware, weapons, human trafficking, you name it, they're in it. Ghost Key wasn't offering a bounty. He was setting a trap to flesh out anyone dumb enough to touch their prize. Now Ethan's on their hit list, and the Coil doesn't do second chances. Scheming. Raven claims she's freelance, hired to clean up messes like this, but she's got her own play. She wants that wallet, and Ethan's her golden ticket. Threatening. She gives him an ultimatum. Help her crack the vault for real, or the Coil will dox his entire life, from his social security number to his mom's address in Evanston. They'll ruin him, his family, everyone he's ever met, and probably throw in a shallow grave for good measure. Resign. Ethan's no hero, but he's not stupid either. He agrees, figuring he'll play along and find a way to outsmart her later. Descriptive. They set up shop in a grimy motel off I-94, the kind of place where the walls are stained with regret and the Wi-Fi is a myth. Determined, Ethan's laptop is his lifeline, humming as he dives back into the code. Stressed, this thing's a monster. Layers of AES 256 encryption, quantum-resistant algorithms, and a self-destruct mechanism that'll torch the data if he makes one wrong move. It's like defusing a bomb while riding a unicycle and juggling. Observant, Raven's watching him like a predator, dropping cryptic hints about the Coil's reach. Senators in their pocket, cops on their payroll, and a hitman called the Cleaner who makes bodies vanish like they never existed. Exhausted, Ethan's barely sleeping, chugging Red Bull like it's water, his fingers a blur on the keyboard. He's making progress, but every breakthrough feels like a step closer to a guillotine. Gasp, then his phone pings again, a photo of his mom's house, timestamped 10 minutes ago with a single word, hurry. Shocked, his blood runs cold. The Coil's not playing, they know where his family lives, and they're watching. Paranoid, Ethan's paranoia kicks into overdrive. He starts noticing things, black SUVs idling too long outside the motel, a guy in a hoodie across the street who's always there, a faint click on his burner phone like someone's listening. Calmly, Raven's unfazed, all business, but even she's sweating when a new message hits the dark web forum, urgent, 24 hours, or Chicago burns. Frantic, Ethan's head spinning, but he digs deeper into the code, cracking a layer that reveals a breadcrumb, a server address pointing to a defunct warehouse in Gary, Indiana, just across the state line. The warehouse is a rusted skeleton, all broken windows and graffiti. They creep inside, Ethan's heart hammering, expecting a server rack but finding nothing, just a burner phone on a crate, screen glowing with a live video feed. It's his sister, Lily, 22, tied up in some dingy basement, her face bruised, eyes wide with fear. A distorted voice crackles through.
Finish the job, or she's gone.
Ethan's legs nearly give out, but Raven grabs his arm, hissing.
Focus. We move, or she's dead.
They're back in the car. Ethan's a wreck, barely holding it together. Raven says she knows a guy, Marcus, an ex-Fed who went rogue after the FBI burned him on a sting gone wrong. He's their only shot at tracking the signal. They meet Marcus in a dive bar in Southside Chicago, a place that smells like stale beer and bad decisions. Marcus is a mess, grizzled, half drunk, with scars that tell stories he doesn't share, but his eyes are sharp and he knows the game. He pulls some strings, hacks into a telecom database, and pinpoints the signal to a data center in Joliet, 40 miles southwest.
But watch your back.
Marcus warns, nursing a whiskey.
The coil's got eyes in places you can't imagine.
Ethan's stomach's in knots, but they've got no time to waste. They hit the data center at 3 a.m., sneaking past security guards and dodging cameras like they're in a heist flick. Ethan's hacking skills are barely enough to keep the alarms quiet as they slip into the server room, a humming maze of blinking lights and cold air. They find the target server, but it's rigged with a failsafe. Crack it wrong, and it sends a kill order to whoever's holding Lily. Ethan's sweating bullets, his hands shaking as he plugs in his laptop. Raven covering the door with a stolen Glock she pulled from God knows where. Just as Ethan's about to crack the final layer, Marcus, who insisted on coming along, grabs his shoulder and whispers.
You're being played, kid.
Ethan's brain short circuits as Marcus lays it out. Raven's not just a fixer, she's Ghost Key, the one who posted the vault, the one who lured Ethan into this mess to use him as a pawn. She's been playing him from jump, planning to snag the $500 million for herself. Ethan's blood boils, but before he can confront her, the lights cut out and the server room erupts in chaos. Gunfire, shouts, the screech of metal. The coil's here, and they brought an army. Marcus takes a bullet to the chest, slumping against a server rack, but he buys Ethan and Raven enough time to bolt, diving into a maintenance tunnel as the data center explodes behind them, a fireball lighting up the night. They're on the run again. Ethan's trust in Raven shattered, but stuck with her because she's his only shot at saving Lily. She swears she'll get his sister back if he finishes the job, but her words feel like poison now. They hole up. Ethan's back on the code, working faster than ever, his sister's face burned into his mind. Raven's fending off coil hitmen who are closing in. Two goons try to breach the door, but she takes them out with a knife and a terrifying calm that makes Ethan wonder who she really is. He's down to the wire, cracking the final layer of the vault's encryption when he finds a hidden message buried in the code. GPS coordinates pointing to a cabin in the woods of Wisconsin, near Lake Superior. It's a long shot, but it's all they've got. They hit the road, Ethan's nerves fried, Raven's eyes scanning every shadow. The cabin's a decrepit shack, surrounded by pines and silence, but inside it's a jackpot. Not just the private key to the wallet, but Lily, barely alive, tied to a chair in a makeshift cell. Ethan's sobbing as he cuts her free, but Raven's all business, snatching the key, a USB drive the size of a thumb. She's ready to ghost, but Ethan's done being her pawn. He'd slipped a virus into the vault's code back in Milwaukee, a kill switch that'll brick the wallet if anyone tries to access it without his override. Raven's eyes narrow, but there's a flicker of respect there, impressed. Smart move, kid, she says, but the moment's cut short when the cleaner crashes through the door, a towering figure in a black tactical suit, moving like death itself. The fight's brutal. Knives flash, fists fly. Ethan smashes a busted laptop over the cleaner's head, and Raven unloads a Glock. They barely make it out, dragging Lily to the car as the cabin goes up in flames. Another coil trap detonated. Ethan gets Lily to a hospital, her pulse weak but steady. Raven vanishes with the USB, leaving a scrawled note, "We're even." The Coils empire takes a hit, their wallets fried, their network exposed, but Ethan knows they're not done. He's back in Chicago, looking over his shoulder every day, jumping at every ping on his phone. The dark web still whispers his name, and he can't shake the feeling that Raven's out there, watching, waiting for her next play. He's no hero, just a guy who survived a war he never signed up for, a ghost in the machine wondering if he'll ever be free. The internet is a paradox, a sprawling universe of knowledge, entertainment, and connection, yet a breeding ground for nightmares most never encounter. While the surface web hosts familiar platforms like Google, Reddit, and Netflix, the dark web lurks in the shadows, accessible only through specialized tools like the Tor browser. Infamous for illegal marketplaces, hacking services, and shadowy transactions, the dark web also harbors stories that transcend crime, tales of terror that defy reason and haunt those who stumble into its depths. This is the true story of Mia Carter, a 26-year-old from Seattle, Washington, whose obsession with true crime plunged her into a dark web nightmare unlike any other. Mia Carter lived in a quirky apartment in Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood, filled with thrift store furniture, lush houseplants, and a bookshelf crammed with true crime novels. With her pixie-cut hair, vintage band tees, and black-rimmed glasses, the 26-year-old graphic designer was a regular at the city's artsy coffee shops, often sketching logos or reading about unsolved mysteries. But her real passion was true crime. Podcasts like My Favorite Murder and Crime Junkie were her constant companions during freelance gigs, and she spent evenings on Reddit's r/true crime, dissecting cold cases with strangers online. Mia wasn't just a casual fan, she saw herself as an amateur sleuth. She pieced together clues from unsolved cases, theorized about motives, and dreamed of cracking a case herself. Her friends teased her about her murder obsession, but she brushed it off. "It's not about the gore," she'd say. "It's about understanding why people do what they do." Deep down, she hoped to start her own true crime podcast someday, maybe even solve a mystery that had stumped professionals. One rainy October evening in 2024, Mia was scrolling through a Reddit thread about the dark web. A user mentioned a site allegedly hosting unsolved case archives, raw police files, witness interviews, and evidence logs not available to the public. The idea electrified her. What if I could access real case files? I could uncover something no one else has. She'd heard of the dark web before, mostly in whispers about drugs and hackers, but the promise of exclusive information was too tempting to resist. Mia confided in her roommate Ethan, a laid-back barista who doubled as her tech support. Over pizza one night, she said, "I'm thinking about checking out the dark web. There's this site with case files that could be a gold mine for my research." Ethan frowned, pushing his glasses up his nose, concerned. "Mia, that place is sketchy as hell. You're gonna end up on some hacker's radar." She laughed it off. "I'll be careful. Just browsing. No funny business." That night, Mia dove into research. She downloaded the Tor browser, read tutorials on Stan Anonymous, and set up a Bitcoin wallet, buying $30 worth of Bitcoin to cover any small purchases. Her heart raced with anticipation. This is like being a detective in a movie, she thought, oblivious to the abyss she was about to enter. On a stormy November night in 2024, with rain drumming against her window, Mia opened the Tor browser. The interface was clunky and the connection crawled, but she felt like an explorer charting a forbidden realm. Using a link from Reddit, she landed on a dark web marketplace called The Vault. Its retro design reminded her of early internet forums, but the listings were far from nostalgic. Drugs, counterfeit money, hacking tools, and cryptic services. She didn't dare explore. Navigating cautiously, Mia found a section labeled Data Archives. Among the listings was a digital bundle titled Unsolved Case Files USA, 1980 to 2020. The description promised unredacted police reports, autopsy photos, and interrogation tapes for $15 in Bitcoin. Mia hesitated, her cursor hovering over the buy button. This could be a scam, she thought, but what if it's real? She made the purchase, her first dark web transaction. The download link arrived within minutes. A zip file containing PDFs and audio clips. Mia unzipped the file, her excitement mounting. The documents looked authentic. Grainy scans of police reports, crime scene photos, and MP3s, labeled with case numbers. She recognized one case, a 1990s Seattle murder that had baffled detectives for decades. The files included witness statements never released publicly. "Holy crap," she whispered. "This is the real deal." For weeks, Mia was consumed. She spent nights poring over the files, cross-referencing them with online articles, and posting her findings anonymously on Reddit. Her posts gained traction, with users praising her insights. The thrill of uncovering hidden truths fueled her, and she ventured deeper into the dark web, joining forums like CrimeNet, where users swapped case files and theories. She adopted the username Sleuth Seeker and felt like she joined a secret society of truth seekers. One night, while browsing CrimeNet, Mia stumbled across a thread titled Live Case Streams. The original post was vague, claiming a dark website offered real-time case investigations, where users could watch live feeds of active mysteries. Most replies dismissed it as a scam, but one user, Case Watcher, claimed to have seen a stream. "It's not what you expect," they wrote. "No blood, just weird, like watching a puzzle unfold live." An onion link was shared, password protected. Mia's curiosity surged. Live investigations, she thought. Maybe it's like a citizen detective project. She messaged Case Watcher for the password. After a tense wait, they replied, "Password is Truth Seeker 2024. Be careful. Once you see it, you can't unsee it." Mia copied the link and password, her pulse quickening. She told herself she'd only check it out, nothing more. Entering the site, Mia found a minimalist page with a single video player labeled Stream Number 47, The Vanishing. No description, no comment section, just a countdown timer showing the stream would start in 2 hours. She bookmarked the link and waited, her excitement tinged with unease. What am I getting myself into? When the timer hit 0, the stream began. The feed showed a grainy view of an empty alley in what looked like an urban area, wet pavement, flickering streetlights, and faint city sounds. Text overlaid the screen. Objective: locate the subject. Time limit: 72 hours. No further explanation. Mia watched, mesmerized, as the camera panned slowly. Nothing happened for the first hour, but she couldn't look away. Then, a figure appeared at the alley's edge, a hooded person holding a flashlight. They moved cautiously, as if searching for something, before vanishing into the shadows. The stream ended abruptly after 2 hours, replaced by a message. Stream number 47 paused. Next broadcast, 24 hours. Mia was confused but hooked. Was that a real person? What are they looking for? She posted about it on CrimeNet, but no one else admitted to watching. Case Watcher messaged her privately, "Keep watching, it gets weirder." Mia became obsessed with the vanishing stream. Each night, she logged in for the next broadcast. The alley remained the same, but new elements appeared. A cryptic symbol spray-painted on a wall, a discarded backpack, a fleeting glimpse of the hooded figure. The text overlays grew more enigmatic. The subject is near, or clues are hidden. Mia took screenshots, scribbling notes about possible locations and meanings. She scoured Seattle's online maps, trying to identify the alley, but found no matches. The streams were strangely immersive, like an interactive game. Viewers couldn't comment, but the site tracked active watchers, a counter showing 47 users during one stream, 52 the next. Mia wondered who else was watching. Are they detectives? Other true crime fans? She noticed subtle anomalies in the feed, whispers in the background, brief static glitches revealing distorted faces. Each broadcast ended with a pause message, keeping her tethered to the next. One night, the stream took a sinister turn. The hooded figure appeared again, but this time they stopped and stared directly at the camera. Mia froze. Can they see me? The figure raised a hand, holding a piece of paper with her username, Sleuth Seeker, written in red ink. The stream cut off. Mia's heart pounded. How do they know my username? She slammed her laptop shut, her hands trembling. Sleep was impossible that night. She kept imagining someone lurking outside her window. The next morning, Mia's laptop acted up. Apps opened on their own, and her cursor lagged. She ran an antivirus scan, but it found nothing. Around noon, she received an email with no subject line. The message read, "You're a good sleuth. Want to play for real." Attached was a photo of her apartment building's entrance, time-stamped that morning. Mia's stomach churned. Someone's been here. She called Ethan, who rushed home from his barista shift. "Mia, you've got to stop this dark web crap," he said, his voice tense. "This isn't a game. Someone's targeting you." Mia admitted she'd been watching the streams, but insisted she hadn't shared personal info. "I used Tor, a VPN, everything," she said. "How could they find me?" Ethan suspected she'd been hacked. They took her laptop to Lila, a tech-savvy friend who worked in cybersecurity. Lila confirmed a remote access Trojan, RAT, had infected Mia's device, likely from a dark web download. "This thing's nasty," Lila said. "It's been active for weeks, giving someone full access. Webcam, mic, files, everything." She cleaned the laptop and recommended replacing it. "And stay off the dark web," she added. "You've pissed off someone dangerous." Mia was rattled but couldn't let go of the stream. She bought a cheap burner laptop, set it up with fresh security, and vowed to be more cautious. Against her better judgment, she returned to the stream site. The next broadcast showed the same alley, but the hooded figure was gone. Instead, the camera zoomed in on a wall with a new message in red paint. "Sleuth Seeker. Find the subject or become one." The viewer counter read 1. Mia was the only watcher. Mia's life unraveled. She stopped sleeping, jumping at every noise. Her freelance work suffered, and she avoided. One stream showed a live feed of a locked metal door in the alley. Text appeared. "Unlock the door. Code 471924. Mia recognized the numbers. Her birth date, April 19, 1998. 4/19/24 in American format. "They know who I am." She didn't have the physical key, but the stream's message implied she was meant to find it. A new email arrived with a map pinpointing an abandoned warehouse near Pike Street Market, a real Seattle location. "Come alone," it read. "The subject awaits." Mia knew going was reckless, but the stream's pull was irresistible. She told Ethan she was meeting a client and drove to the warehouse, her phone's GPS guiding her. The area was deserted, the warehouse looming under flickering streetlights. She found the alley from the stream, her breath visible in the cold air. The metal door was there, rusted but real. Trembling, she entered the code. 471924. The lock, metallic clicked open. Inside was pitch black. Mia's flashlight revealed damp walls and scattered debris. At the room's center was a laptop displaying the stream, live footage of her standing there, horrified. They're filming me right now. Before she could react, the door slammed shut behind her. Her phone lost signal, and the laptop screen flickered to a new message. Welcome, sleuth seeker. You are the subject. Mia pounded on the door, screaming for help, but the warehouse was silent. The laptop emitted a low hum, its screen cycling through clips of her life, screenshots of her Reddit posts, photos from her Instagram, even webcam footage of her in her apartment. A distorted voice spoke through the speakers. You wanted to solve a mystery. Now you're the mystery. The screen displayed a timer, 24 hours. Text instructed her to escape the warehouse before time ran out. Clues were hidden in the building, but failure means you vanish. Mia's mind raced. This isn't a stream, it's a trap. She searched the room, finding a key taped under a table, unlocked a side door leading to a maze of corridors. As she navigated, Mia noticed cameras mounted on walls, their red lights blinking. They're still streaming me. She found notes with riddles. The truth is in the light, and objects like a broken watch set to 3:33, the time she'd first accessed the stream. Each clue led to another locked door, another puzzle. Exhaustion set in, but fear kept her moving. She realized the game was personal, tailored to her life, her birth date. Hours later, Mia reached a final room. A monitor showed the stream's viewer count, 73. People are watching me suffer. The voice returned. You're a star now, Mia. Solve the final puzzle or join the vanished. A table held a USB drive labeled The Vanishing Solution. Plugging it into the monitor, she found a video of herself entering the warehouse, edited to look like she disappeared into thin air. A message read, choose, leave and erase yourself, or stay and be immortalized. Mia understood the threat. Leaving meant her identity, her life, would be erased online. Her digital existence wiped out. Staying meant she couldn't fathom it. She chose the USB drive, hoping it held an exit code. It contained a single file with a new door code. She entered it, and the door opened to the alley. She stumbled out as dawn broke over Seattle. Mia drove home, her body trembling. She told Ethan everything, and he firmly insisted they go to the police. The Seattle PD investigated the warehouse, but found it empty. No cameras, no laptop, no evidence. The dark website was gone, its .onion link dead. Mia's burner laptop showed no trace of the streams. The police, skeptically, dismissed her story as a prank or delusion, suggesting she seek counseling. Mia's digital life was decimated. Her social media accounts were deleted, her email inaccessible, and her Reddit profile wiped. Clients dropped her, assuming she ghosted them. She moved to a new apartment, changed her number, and abandoned her true crime hobby. But the fear persisted. She received occasional texts from unknown numbers, coldly, "You were our best subject." Months later, Mia found a dark web forum post about the vanishing stream, describing a series of live broadcasts where participants disappeared after solving puzzles. No one knew who ran it or why. Some called it a psychological experiment, others a sadistic game. Mia never confirmed the truth. She avoided the internet, living quietly, haunted by the memory of being watched.